doing anything?
Not yet. I think it's coming pretty soon, though. Yeah.
Relax. Look like we're really in the living
I
room.
love your glasses, by the way.
They're real. They're fake. Because they are. They're not even real. Because when I don't put on makeup, I just throw them on.
Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Collins, here with Actors Theater of Indiana. I think this is our 5th podcast of Lunch Break with ATI. So thank you for joining us and welcome. Today, I am with the wonderful Lysa Fox. Hello.
Hello, Cindy Collins.
And Lysa is our director for our next production, which is Working, the musical. And we just started rehearsals last night.
We sure did.
Woo! And the show opens April 29th and runs to May 22nd. And it is a fantastic powerhouse show. And I'm in it, and which doesn't make it the powerhouse show. I'm just mentioning that I happen to be.
Come see Cindy.
I happen to be in the cast, along with 5 other fantastic, wonderful,
it's a great
wonderful actors, and it's a great cast, and it's a great artistic team, and it is Lysa is our director, our leader.
Yes. Yes, I'm so excited.
Yes, I am
Yes,
too.
I love the piece, and I thought it was a really exciting night. First rehearsal is always very exciting. As we call it, the first day of school.
First day of school, nervous.
Yes,
everybody's nervous. Everybody's
but
got
man,
nervous
we
energy.
were rocking it by the end.
Yeah,
It was really great.
Everybody's trying to get their bearings,
Yes.
and learn their material.
A lot of new people to ATI.
And new people
Right,
working together,
yes.
which is always great. Which
Really
is
exciting.
what the art, what we're all about. Theater's about always working with new people.
Yeah.
And but we have Lysa, director. We have Carol Worsell, choreographing, and Paul Regano is our musical director. And so we have the trifecta here of our artistic team is really, really great. Really, I am just like, I'm at your mercy. I'm at your
love
do
it.
with me what you
Love
want.
it, love it.
Almost.
Well, we're just getting
Almost.
going, so
yeah, I know. So
here we go.
I better not speak too soon. But so tell me, besides working, that's all great, and we'll talk some more about that.
Okay.
But tell me now, Lysa is a professor.
I
So
am.
tell me, give us a little, not the elevator speech, because we got 15 minutes, so you don't have to
Okay.
do it in 30
Yeah.
seconds. Give us a little of your background. We were talking about where you're from, born in Montana, Big Sky
born
State.
and raised, Big Sky
Right,
State, that's
right.
right.
Oh my
Shout
gosh.
out 406.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that there's one area code for the entire state?
Oh, really?
That's correct. The 406. That's what we call it.
So
the
they
406.
have that, and they
There
never
you go.
added
There's a
to
little
it.
trivia for people today.
406.
Yeah,
and
there
they
we
never
go.
ever added.
Yeah.
Like even New Jersey, where
No,
I'm from.
because it's too small.
Oh.
There's not enough people.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Jersey, tiny but so densely populated.
Yeah.
I was growing up. It was it's 201.
Okay.
201. And of course, some people still have the 201 area code, but then it started to be 973, and now God knows they probably have more than that now.
Yeah.
Because of all the people in Jersey. But but I kind of believe that in Montana. I'm sure everything's so spread out.
Yeah,
and
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I felt really lucky to even get into the arts, when I was when I was a
it's
student.
not like a state where you're like, I'm going to Montana to study theater.
No, not at all. And I mean, it all started. My mom had a hard and fast rule about we had to have an outside of school activity, and I had taken piano lessons, but I didn't love it. And she said, "There's a dance studio coming to town." I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And then I loved it.
Tell
I loved it.
the story about the piano. You took piano.
I did.
But your teacher was me.
I did. I had this woman, and as an educator now, this infuriates me. But I played by ear, so I think I could have been decent because I do. I'm a musician. This is what I know now as a grown-up. But so I would watch my hands instead of my music, and she would slap my chin to make me look at the music, and so I hated it.
And did you finally say to your mother, "Look, Mom"?
Well, I just
But
knew
you're
I
a kid,
wanted
so you don't
to
want to
do.
say that
Yeah,
about a
I just
teacher,
knew I
right?
wanted to do something other than piano. But as I said, I was growing up in a little town in Montana. There was not a lot of options. But this woman moved to town. I was kind of tomboy-esque, so I didn't know that I wanted to take dance.
Yeah.
But I started, and I loved it, and the rest is history, as they say. She took me to my first audition.
Oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
she took me to my first audition, and at that audition, I had to sing a little thing, and I sang in church, of course. I mean, that's how a lot of us start as singers, right?
Right. I was in the
Right.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
When you start singing in church, in
Yes.
the children's choir, or the,
Exactly.
yeah,
But at
yeah.
that, they said, "Oh, you can sing," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was the strawberry seller, and a featured dancer in that. And when that show ended, I thought my life was over.
Of course, because you're a kid, you're like, we're done.
Well, I was not. I was a sophomore in high school.
Oh my God!
When I did that.
Well, still, even then, you're in high school. You're
Absolutely.
young, and every time a show's over, you even now, when we're adults, shows are over. I mean, depending on the runs,
Yeah.
or depending if
Sure.
you're on tour, or
Yeah.
depending if you're with the show for years.
Yes.
You know, those maybe
Absolutely.
Broadway, you're like, oh God,
It's
over.
over. Well, I
then
I
it
think I
hits
really
you.
knew that I loved it. At that
Yeah.
point, I had no idea
Yeah.
that but my mom was not surprised. She said I came by the, hey, look at me, pretty
Right.
naturally.
Yeah, right. Well, there's
So-
always one of those in the family.
Yes, exactly.
And that was you.
Yeah, well, yes, but my sister actually also has done some theater, and we've actually done some things together.
Oh, my gosh.
We
I love
were, I was the Wicked Witch, and she was Dorothy. In like a children's theater production. I played Miss Hannigan, and she played Grace Farrell.
Okay, so she's the nice people.
She is the nice people.
She's the nice sister.
Exactly.
You can
right.
see where this is going.
That is exactly
how the
right.
household was when you were
But you
growing
know, it's
up.
so funny you say that, because of course there's an age, I think, for all girls.
Mm-hmm.
They want to play the pretty ingenue.
Oh, yeah,
right.
sure,
They want to play the
sure.
Grace Farrells, not the Miss Hannigans. But
Yeah.
what I realized was the Miss Hannigan's parts are way
they're
more fun.
Oh, no, there's so much more fun
Yes.
to play.
Yeah.
They usually have a lot more meat
Yes,
to them.
absolutely.
As same with me. I'm like, I was playing 60-year-olds in college.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
they're
I
like,
was-
You're
yeah, I was way
going
too
to play
young
the
to play.
grandmother.
Yes,
I'm like,
exactly.
I'm a
Okay.
junior in college. I
Yes.
don't know if this is maybe in another. I don't
But
know,
so
50 years.
fun, so fun,
Oh,
right?
oh, so much fun.
And then when I finally understood that, I'm a character actress,
Yeah.
like that's when my world kind of blew wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the interesting thing. Let me ask you this, because we'll get to your what you do now. When because you're a dancer,
Yes.
choreographer, you were a dancer when you were younger. You learned,
Yes.
all that. But you're a character actor, right? So it's like that's with me too. They were like, where are we putting her?
Yeah.
Like, what are we gonna
How
do
do we-
with her?
yes.
She's a dancer, but she's a character
Yeah.
actor, and so you know what I mean?
Yes, I
so
do.
So with me, some people were like, well, we don't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, you're right. It takes as you get older, and then finally you're like, okay, I'm getting into my groove.
Yes, absolutely.
know?
And starting to understand what roles to even go for.
Yes.
And
exactly.
starting to really understand your type. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, right.
for sure.
Right, and what you can do and what you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
But you are a professor
I
at
am.
Western Illinois
Western Illinois University. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
How'd you get that gig?
Well, I mean, we have to go backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
So my theater background in Montana led to starting a company, much like ATI.
Right, okay.
It was called Venture Theater in
Okay.
Billings, Montana.
Okay.
It's still there under a very different umbrella, but the company still exists. And I mean, long story short,
Yeah.
I divorced
Okay.
and needed a change.
Okay.
And decided I would go to grad school.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
went to Cal State Long Beach and I got an MFA in directing and acting. I got 2 MFAs, and from that, LA was not working for me. And the freeway flyer of jumping in my car and having to be in 15 different places.
Yeah.
So I started to look into teaching because I've always loved teaching. I've always had a propensity for it as
Yeah.
well. And we had a huge education component of the theater company that I ran. And so I went, I think I do want to do this. And so threw my net really wide. I'd never heard of this school, but I ended up in a position that I think kind of fits me like a glove. I get to teach a couple of dance classes. I teach. I'm the acting teacher for all the BFA courses. I'm the head of the BFA musical theater program.
Okay.
I have to also do some administrative stuff, which I kind of like as well.
You do?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
See,
I do.
that's good,
It's a
'cause
nice step away. I certainly, I mean, I
Yeah.
love the creative stuff so much
Sure.
more better. So much more better.
More better.
I'm a college professor.
Just say more better. More better. I like it more better.
I like it more better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of the well, maybe it wasn't so short.
Yeah.
The long
Well,
way
that's
that I
all
got
right. We
there.
have time.
But,
You can
yeah,
also
it's my
say-
first. It was my first academic job, other than doing some adjunct when I was in grad school.
Yeah, that's
and
not
now
easy.
I'm wrapping up year number 10.
I was going to say how long you've been there.
10 years,
yeah,
which I
that's
can
good. That's
hardly
a decade. That's good.
believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't because you're like, what happened when I first
Yeah.
started? Wait a minute. Didn't we just
Unbelievable.
start? Or wasn't I just here?
Yes.
And then, like, you've slept since then. And
Yes.
You're like, oh my God,
Exactly.
it's been 10 years. Or to say a decade really makes you feel like, oh my God,
Yes.
it's a decade.
Yeah,
That
somehow
that
I
makes it sound so much longer.
I sometimes, every once in a while, still feel like the new kid on the block. It's like, oh wait, no, almost everybody is new since I started.
Well, I don't. You're going to be gone. You're going to be here for 3 weeks away from there, and they have to survive without you.
They do.
Saying
They
got to step up.
Yes, they
We were
do.
just talking to her, they got to step.
They do, 'cause
they gotta
I'm
step
busy.
They got to step it up. You're busy
we got
directing
stuff.
for
We
us.
got stuff to do
Yeah.
here. Got to keep my head in the game.
Well, you know what? And that's not an easy job. I mean, that is to me, okay, because I'm not a teacher. I am not an educator. The cops are coming
Hello.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a teacher. I'm not an educator. You know, passing on information from your career is one thing. When you're just, you know, doing a workshop or
Sure.
something, that's different. But to be a real educator is a totally what a craft and a talent, in my opinion, because kids don't forget those people.
Yeah.
Kids don't forget those teachers and those instructors and those professors
Yeah.
that really, you know, really have an impact in their
Yeah.
life.
Well, we
And-
talked about this the other night when we were at dinner,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Yeah.
That all a kid needs is that one or two people to believe in them.
That's right.
To pull them into something that can change their life.
And pull stuff out
right?
of them.
And I bet
right?
you can name those people. I know I
Yeah.
can name those
Yeah, I
people.
can.
And I have to say, it is such an honor and a gift to now be one of those people for somebody else.
Right, right.
Right? And I just had a great exchange with a student who's actually from this area, who just she has worked consistently since she's left here. And she ended this wonderful little text. She sent me her next contract in a little Snapchat, or I don't do Snapchat, but
no, I do.
a screenshot, right?
Right,
And she
got
said,
that.
"Thanks for always being my second mom and my biggest supporter."
And
And
that's,
it practically
no.
made me cry right there,
Right.
you know. And it's very special. It really is an honor to be someone who lights that fire, who kicks in the butt, who gives the hug. Like, you know, there's a lot that goes to it.
That's right.
There's a lot. It's emotionally taxing and exhausting.
Yes.
Sure
it is.
But I love it. I really, really do.
And that's the good thing. You love it.
I
so
do.
You're giving. You know, there are some people, and I'll say it, there are some teachers anywhere, everywhere. They're going through the motions. I had them.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I had these people
we
in
all
school.
do.
I had these
we all
people
did.
in my university. And I was in the theater.
Yeah.
And here I am. My parents are paying for me to be a theater major.
Right.
And you got some people just
Yep.
going
Yep.
through it. And I'm
stepping in, doing their thing, and
you know,
walking out.
kids aren't stupid. They're
Absolutely.
not dumb. So they're smart enough to be like, you're not
gonna
really
go towards
teaching
that
me,
one.
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Go towards you
the
bet.
person who really I think is going to give me something.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's, of course, like we said, the people you remember. And the people who really, really helped you. Even if you had them for one class. I know
Yep.
this man I had for one class.
Or they say that one thing that sticks with you for the
Yes.
rest of your
Yes.
life. In fact, here's a great story. The very first summer stock I did, I worked with this great woman who said, it was my first job, and I was all excited. And she was from the Denver area, and she said we ended our run through, and she had this smile on her face, and the smile kind of went away, and she said, "Here's my one rule of theater: if you're not going to be good, be loud and fast and get off." And I thought, oh, okay, I think I want to be good then.
Right.
Right? I've never
Right.
forgot that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
because you don't want to make. If you're not good, just be
loud and fast and get off.
Be faster. Make your exit quick, which plays. But that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
There was
what
something.
am I going to be?
I have never
What am I
forgotten
going to
that.
be? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. And you don't forget that with certain directors and stuff too when
Yeah.
you're younger, working with them, especially summer stock.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And oh my gosh. And some people, you know, are I can remember a woman I worked with, and she was pretty tough. She came in to direct one show when I was with Forestburg Playhouse. That was one of my very first jobs, summer stock, and up in Forestburg, New York. And she was tough. Boy, she was tough, really tough. But you know, I remembered her, and we did our work.
Yeah.
You know, we got our
Yes.
stuff done.
True, it made me
you
work
know,
hard. It made
makes
me
you
work hard.
And it's not, hers wasn't always the right approach, but, because then you're just terrified.
Yeah, right.
You know, some of the time. But if I remember her, I actually stood up to her, you know, and I said, look, I said, I can't believe I did this. I mean, I could have been fired. You know what I mean? I was just there as a non-union performer.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, she's like, you have to be singing out this morning, and we can't hear you. And we're kind of like this. We were just, because we were non-union, and the non-union people had to do all the grunt work too.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
We weren't union yet. We were there like interns, you know,
Sure.
in the summer. Also, so we did all the crap work. So we're working till late at night. We're doing a show, then we're working after that. In the mornings at rehearsal, we're like, you know, our eyes are like, you know, your eyeballs falling out, you know. And anyways, she's yelling at us, and I said, you know, I said we have. I don't even remember what I said to her. I just said in the middle of rehearsal, I spoke up, and I was like, because everybody's like, oh my God, you know, everybody's coming terrified.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, we cannot do that right now.
Yes.
She goes, well, then I can't direct. Boom, and she slams the book, and she leaves, and I'm like, well, I am probably going to be dismissed. But she came back and
Figured
apologized.
it out. Okay, well there you
Came
go.
back and apologized, and we were like,
She was
because
probably tired too,
She
right?
was
You know, and
probably
that was
tired.
maybe why. Yeah.
she was probably tired too. It was like we were trying to get the show up at Summer Stock. She
Yeah.
came back, apologized. We became buddies.
Yeah.
She was, you know, absolutely after that, she was like, how are ya? You know, and
Yeah.
all overlay, like, you know, and so.
Yeah.
But that's
You live
other
and learn,
stuff
right?
you remember
Mhm.
too.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But
The good, the bad, and the ugly, as we say,
that's
right?
exactly right. But I think what you do is not just acting is noble, but what you do is noble because you're putting the future performers
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
important,
And
right?
not just with talent, not just with talent, but good universities put their kids out with a good attitude,
Absolutely.
with a disciplined attitude, with a humble attitude,
Absolutely.
with a polite attitude.
Yeah.
That is all part of it, right?
I tell my students that the triple threat is not acting, singing, dancing. The triple threat is the skill, because that's expected if you're going to be out there. Be a hard worker and be someone I want to work with. That's the triple threat.
Again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right? Do your job, mind your business.
Yes,
That's always been my
yes.
mantra. Do
Be
your job, mind your
pleasant.
business, and
Be
just-
you know
don't
be the
friends.
person.
Don't be friends with everybody.
Yeah, no.
You have to get
Well,
along.
and you have to know
be
it's a
pleasant.
job, right? And
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
got to do your part.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. I think the same thing. That's
Yeah.
what that's what I always have tried.
Yeah.
You know, just do your
Right.
job.
Stay in your lane.
Your
do your
job.
thing,
well,
right?
And I had a professor tell me that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that stuck with me.
Yeah.
He said, Cindy, you just need to do your job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I was getting worried.
Right,
about
because it takes a
something.
village, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's doing
Everyone's
something
doing
to bring it together.
Their job.
Yeah, for
Don't
sure.
muddy the waters, right?
Yeah,
Just
right.
do what you're hired to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It keeps
Yeah.
everything a lot simpler. And I know, I remember that is what I remember from Professor, him telling me that. He's like, you don't need to worry about all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's not your job.
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay.
You take care of you.
Okay.
And we're good.
Yeah, okay, got it. You know, and that's his name is George Sherman. I remember him, and it was like a graduate class I was taking.
Okay.
I was a senior, and they're like, you have been accepted to take a grad class.
Oh, nice.
I know. It was like only 2 of us from the class.
That's great.
My friend Leslie and I were accepted, and I was like, so we're like,
Yeah.
we're like with all the graduate directors and the
Yeah,
student now,
that's so great.
whatever, blah,
Yeah.
blah. That doesn't matter. So, we're here to still talk about you, not me. Okay.
I feel like we need a cocktail or at least a cup of coffee, something.
That's the problem.
Away.
Well, listen, sun's over the yard arm.
Hey, there you go.
It's after 12 noon.
There you go.
So that's what my dad always used to say, sun's over the yard arm.
I like that.
And that's time for a cocktail. But if I had one now, I'd never make it to rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly.
Today.
Both of us.
So
that's not a good idea.
That would be absolutely horrific and horrible. Though I don't know, who knows, I might even learn my music a little better, but I doubt it, right? I doubt it.
I love it.
But anyway, thank you. First thing, she's awesome, and we are really, really lucky to have you here directing for us because she was supposed to be here before, what hit the fan before COVID.
Yeah, so it's been a long time coming. I'm so thrilled it's finally happening.
This has been like 2 years planning.
Yes.
And everything was canceled, as everybody knows, so Lysa was supposed to be on board with us, and obviously she wasn't. So we are very, very fortunate that you could get time off.
Yes.
From
taking
from
time
school,
off in the middle of the school year.
They're maybe falling apart without her. I don't know. And,
they'll figure it out.
Put on their big boy pants.
That's right.
And she's here doing this with us. So we pride ourselves in getting really great people to come in and do our shows.
Oh,
Whether
thank
it be
you.
the directors, choreographers, musical directors, the actors, we pride ourselves on bringing people in.
A great team.
And mixing them with our local talent.
Yeah, well, it's very exciting. It's been a joy so far working with everybody, and we're just getting going with the cast. So.
I know. So please come see Working, and I think next week we're going to have Paul Regano on, our musical director, with Don Farrell, the other founder of the company. So you get to know Paul, and we should probably even have Carol on at some point.
Sure.
Because Carol is born and raised here, local. Yeah. And Carol really is our resident choreographer. She has choreographed all of our shows. Yeah. And so she's a real gem and a very, very dear friend.
Yeah, she sure is.
So anyway. Okay, so thank you. I think we're going to wrap this up. I think I got the high sign. Yep, getting the high sign again. We always have to be reminded. Thank you so much for joining us. Lunch Break with ATI. And thanks for supporting the arts, right?
Yes,
Lysa Fox,
absolutely. Come see the show.
And to come see the show. Lysa Fox, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you,
Thank you again. I'm Cindy Collins. Bye-bye.